Well, earlier today, Illinois failed the Big Ten and lost to Connecticut. Would Michigan fail the Big Ten too and lose to Arizona? No, not a chance, not a chance in hell. In fact, it was the largest, tied for the largest victory between one seeds in the Final Four in history. Michigan just keeps making history as they scored 90 plus points again in the Final Four. Their 5 games that they have played, they've scored 90 plus. That is a record. No one else has it. We need to go for 6 versus Connecticut, right? But Arizona was favored by 1.5 points to start this game. As the game started, that was the line. And I was laughing because in my preview for this game, I had Michigan winning by 14 points. I thought that this was going to happen. Michigan's size and efficiency is something that Arizona and the Big 12 had not seen. The Big 10 saw it all year versus Michigan, and Michigan only lost one Big 10 game. Now the Big 12 feels Michigan's wrath just like the Big 10 did. Now it's the Big East turn in Connecticut coming up on Monday because Michigan won this game 91-73. They won by 18 points. Mara had 26 points on the day, 9 rebounds, one shy of a double-double. He had 3 assists and 2 blocks as well. Trey McKinney was 6 of 9. The youngster went 4 of 6 from 3 for Michigan for 16 total points. He also had a nice block in this game. Elliot Cadeau had his best game in a while with 13 points only. But he was 3 of 7 from 3. But he was like 2 of 14 or something in the first half. It was not good. But it was everything else he was doing. His defense and his 10 assists. 10 assists for the game were crucial. He had 4 steals as well that were amazing. Morez Johnson had double digits, and Yaxel Lendenborg had double digits scoring too. Yaxel was 3 for 3 from 3 in 11 minutes in this entire game because he was hindered from injury or precaution of enhancing that hurtness that he had. He was on the bike for a while. He came back and started the second half after he was injured, but he was pulled late. Michigan was ahead during the entirety of this game, basically. And so we didn't really need Yaxel Lendenborg. Sorry. Excuse me. You got me riled up. We really didn't even need Yaxel in this game. Maybe the National Player of the Year. Nope. Michigan beat the hell out of Arizona anyway. Arizona and their size did get 18 offensive rebounds. But that's not as many as I thought they possibly could get, and that's not as many as they wanted to get, as Michigan was able to go fast, get the defensive rebound, and go fast in this game. Throw it up court, just like I predicted. And also, Michigan held Arizona's offense to 37% shooting in this game. So, just utter domination as Mara opened up action with an offensive putback for Michigan. Cadeau was assertive early on, but missed 2 runners and a 3-pointer early on. So I'm like, uh-oh. Yaxel then got his second foul in 1.5 minutes. 1.5 minutes into this game, Yaxel already had his second foul. Then he got hurt later. That's why he only had 11 total minutes in this game. But as I said, it really didn't matter much. Bradley went 1 of 2 on the free throw line. That also hurt Arizona. Make your free throws. They missed 2 front ends of 1-and-1s during this game, while Michigan was 9 of 9 early in this game. Burnett drilled a 3 out of the inbound play, which was beautiful. And then Cadeau hit a floater. And then Cadeau stole it and led Morez Johnson into the bucket for an and-one layup. Michigan had a 10-1 lead 2.5 minutes into this game. Bradley then hit a jumper for Arizona. It was 10-3 at 15:59 under the first TV timeout. Awaka had an offensive putback for Arizona, but Mara had an alley-oop jam. Then Mara had a layup after that. Cadeau then stole a ball and assisted McKinney's transition jam, and Arizona had to call a timeout at 14:27. It was 16-5 Michigan. Aristode hit a 3, but Cadeau answered right back with a 3 of his own. Krivas had a nice hook shot, but then Cadeau drew an offensive foul on Arizona. Yaxel came back in and hit a 3 after getting a couple of fouls early. He hit a 3. Then he stole the ball, which led to the under 12 TV timeout in the first half. It was 22-10 Michigan. Johnson hit 2 out of 2 free throws for Michigan. Mara had an offensive putback. Pete got in on the action and made a layup for Arizona. McKinney then got a block for Michigan. Pete hit a jumper. Then Yaxel landed on an Arizona player's foot, going for an epic jam. You could tell he was winding up for the biggest thing ever, and he kind of rolled his ankle on an Arizona player's foot going for it. And so he had to go to the locker room. So we didn't know if he was hurt. He made both free throws, and then he went to the locker room. But Pete then made 2 free throws for Arizona. Karchenkov hit a 3. Krivas made 1 over Mara, and it was an 11-2 run for Arizona. And Michigan called timeout with 7:21 left in the first half as the lead dwindled all the way down to 7, 28-21. Mara got his second foul by getting elbowed in the face. And Dusty May appealed for a flagrant foul, but to no avail, and Michigan was charged a timeout. Krivas had a hook shot after that, but Gale then had an alley-oop jam for Michigan. Krivas missed 2 free throws. Karchenkov missed a 1-and-1 after a rebound off one of those 2 missed free throws. And then Burnett hit a reverse layup from an amazing assist from Cadeau. Fed him beautifully. Burnett reverse layup. Let's go. Let's go. I love it when you see these players do things outside of their box. And that has been happening with Michigan in this tournament. Amara hit an alley-oop. Where are we at? Yeah, the reverse layup. Bradley then picked up his 3rd foul for Arizona and had to sit. McKinney drilled a 3. One of his few that he had in this game. And Arizona called a timeout at 4:35 left in the first half after the 7-0 Michigan run. It was 35-23. Burries got his first of 2 points at the free throw line in this entire game. He drilled 2 free throws, got on the board. Gale drilled a 3 off of amazing passing by this Michigan offense on selfishness. It was 38-25 at 3:21, the under 4 TV timeout. Awaka had a layup, but then Mara had a layup and 1 to answer. Then Mara had an alley-oop layup from Cadeau. Then Mara hit 2 out of 2 free throws. Del Orso hit a 3, but Johnson had a putback jam and 1 to answer all of that shit. And Michigan was on a tear. Owaka hit a hook, but Michigan got a 2-for-1 at the end of the half. And they didn't capitalize on either one. They didn't hit either shot. It was 48-32 at halftime. A 16-point lead, which was more than double Arizona's biggest deficit the season. The last one was 7. It was 16 versus Michigan all of a sudden. And at halftime, I was thinking, yes, I called it right. The littlest guy on the court needed to be the best, and he was Cadeau. Cadeau needed to play well, and I didn't think by shooting. He did everything but make shots. He was 2 of 14, but he had assisted 6 times and had 3 steals and 4 rebounds in that first half for Michigan, and affected the game in many great ways while playing all 20 minutes in the first half. He was taking hits. He was playing great defense, getting offensive fouls. Also, Michigan was 9-9 from the free throw line at halftime, which I was proud of, and they only had 4 first half turnovers. Oh, and Mara had 15 points and 5 rebounds to open up this game. In the second half, Yaxel started for Michigan, which was a good sign. Mara had a block early to set the tone right away for the second half. Bradley then picked up his 4th foul instantly into the second half. Mara had an alley-oop jam from Cadeau, and Yaxel drilled a 3. Karchenkov hit a floater, but Cadeau floated a pass to Yaxel over the top of people. He's got eyes in the back of his head. I don't know how he knows that guy's going to be there when he does that kind of a pass, but it was awesome, and it was to Yaxel, and Yaxel hit another 3. Pete hit a layup and one, and then a goaltending was called on Michigan that led to the under-16 TV timeout. It was 56-39. McKinney drilled a 3 out of that TV timeout. Mara got his second block of the game, and then Arizona was called for a shot clock violation. Michigan's defense was ready to suffocate, just like they had in every second half that matters this season versus these elite competition. So McKinney drilled his third 3. Akawa had an offensive putback for Arizona, but Mara jammed another one for Michigan, and then Burries hit a 3, but McKinney hit a jumper. Karchenkov missed 1 out of 2 free throws. Cadeau then shimmies his way, just dribbling around the perimeter, and just pulls up from 3 and nailed it. And then Cadeau said, "I'll do that again." And he did. He drilled another one, just dribbling around the perimeter, looking, probing. Defenders are laying off, and he's just like, well, all right, I'll just shoot it and make it. And it's working. He's making them. I love that. So Arizona had to call another timeout as Yaxel was on the bike on the sideline. It was 72-45 Michigan with 12 minutes and 17 seconds left. Michigan had already scored 72 points. Mara dunked off his own miss early to start, and then Burries had a jumper. And then after that, McKinney had another 3. Pete hit a layup. Bradley hit 2 out of 2 free throws. Burries made 1 out of 2. Roddy Gale had an emphatic dunk over Krivas. Pete hit a 3. Mara then hit a long jumper, showing the versatility. Burries hit a 3, though, and then Bradley had a layup. It was down to 21 points. Michigan had a 27-point lead at one point. It was down to 21 with 7 minutes and 33 seconds left. Cadeau got his 4th foul with 7 minutes and 10 seconds left After getting fouled with no call on the other end, he picked up one of his own. Bradley hit 2 out of 2 free throws. But then Mara picked up his third block of this game. Johnson had a dunk for Michigan. Bradley then hit a jumper for Arizona, but Mara went at the rim and won, and made the left and won. Akawa missed a 1-and-1. Burries airballed a 3 for Arizona. Michigan's defense was stifling, but Bradley then had a coast-to-coast layup for Arizona. Cadeau had an offensive putback as the rim was still rocking from Mara's dunk attempt, and it was 88-66 Michigan at 3 minutes and 2 seconds left. And at this point, the only question was, would Michigan get to 90-plus points for the 5th time in this NCAA tournament, which would be the most out of anybody ever. Not tied for. They did that in the last game. And they were the only ones to ever get 4 in 4 straight games. They were going for 5 in 5 straight games, and yes, Michigan did get there. As Krivas hit 2 free throws, but then Gale went 2 of 2 from the line, which got Michigan the record at 90. Pete hit a tip-in, but Arizona stopped pressuring Michigan and essentially gave up with 1:30 left in this game. And Dusty May was able to call a timeout with 51 seconds left to get in all of the backups into this monumental Final Four historic moment for all of these players, which was classy as hell as well. Burnett missed Michigan's first free throw, but he made the second to get to 91. Oscar Goodman got a man's rebound and was fouled, but he missed 2 free throws. The final score was Michigan by 18, 91-73. Versus a damn good Arizona team with size, great leadership, character, sportsmanship, etc. Congratulations to Arizona for your amazing season making it to the Final Four. It's just that Michigan is a different animal, and they are built for this year to win the whole thing. Of course, UConn has something to say about that, the winner of 2 of the last 3 national titles, and they are in their 3rd national title game in 4 years, where Michigan is in their 1st during that time. So it is going to be exactly what Michigan fans wanted. I wanted Duke originally in the national championship game because Michigan lost to Duke by 5 points in the neutral site, and I wanted that revenge. But Duke is old news, really, aren't they? After Connecticut took them down, Connecticut has won the most recent titles. They are the juggernaut in the sport. So to be the best, you have to beat the best, and that is exactly what we needed. Michigan needs the best in front of them because they perform better when that is the case. So I cannot wait. It was an amazing performance by this Michigan squad. Like I said, congrats to Arizona, but I was only off by 4. This team exceeded my expectations. I thought I was a little bit on the outside when I said Michigan was going to win by 14. They won by 18. Could have been more. Could have been very embarrassing. So, if Michigan keeps playing like this, making their threes, Cadeau probing the lane, finding the open guy, passing. Mara being dominant down low presence. Morez. I don't know how you stop them. How do you score on them is first and foremost, and then how do you stop them when they get out and go once you can't score on them? Go Blue. Michigan makes it to their 9th national championship game. It's not a good record. Once we get there, only one national title for Michigan. Uh, or maybe it's only the eighth. Yeah, it's the eighth national title game. Michigan dominates in the Final Four just like they did today, but once they get to the title game, it's a different story. But Dusty May is a different coach. This program is different than it has been in years past. It's a different squad. It's one where they can't lose, I think, in my opinion. So um, I don't want to give Connecticut any kind of locker room fodder. They're an amazing team, and we're going to have to beat a former Michigan player in Terrace Reed, who has been dominant there for them. And Michigan has been able to lock down the opposition's best player all season as well. So I don't think you can just, Terrace Reed's a bully. He's a pit bull. Inside, it's going to be tough to contain him. You can't just stop him, but he's going to get the benefit of the doubt from our squad, but no one can shoot threes on us like Mullins has been. We gotta keep an eye on their 3-point shooting as well. So, I think it's going to be that drop coverage for Michigan, just like it has been every game this season. We're going to keep the rim protected, and we're going to switch everywhere else on the outside. Dan Hurley runs a lot of action, but Michigan can kind of just switch off some of that to keep them with more stamina. And that's really what it is. Michigan just get rebounds, run up the court, put pressure on their defense, and score. And once it gets to the second half, because of our size, and we haven't had to run around and chase a lot of people, we still have the extra energy in the second half. So, great win from Michigan, and it's looking good going forward. I think Michigan wins versus Connecticut. Have a great night out there, everybody. I'm done rambling on now. Go Blue. If I'm not as excited as I should seem, it's because I saw it coming. So, they're on par. One more to go.